on Instagram if you would have liked to see a palette collection for 2018. So here we are. This is my Vanity, just trying to, you know, change up things a bit, change the setting a bit. So let's get started. So I've got an area over there where I keep my de-risked palettes alongside the white peach, which has made it into my project pan. More on that in the project pan update. I'm going to start with the Take Me Back to Brazil palette by BH Cosmetics. Basically your standard rainbow palette with some deepening and lightening shades over here. These shades I never use. I keep this because it's a really good rainbow palette to have, and I know that if I can't find a specific color in one of my other palettes, I can pull for this one. So that's why it says that it stays at the top of my Vanity despite it not being used every day. It's just a very, very useful palette to have in my collection for me personally. Then we've got the three Nabla palettes, my darlings, my loveliest, my dearest. This is the latest one they released. This is the Nabla Poison Garden. This is how it looks like. Let me show you. This is how it looks like. Not as good as the other two from the brand, but it's still nice. This blue though is absolute and complete crap. So there is that. But I do feel that the warm tones and this topper shade over here are really nice. Then we've got my favorite, the Soul Blooming, very springy. This is the inside. Very nice palette. You've got a mix of cools, you've got a mix of warm tones, of neutrals, some topper shades with duochromes. This is my favorite shade of the palette. It's called Garden Gate. I do have reviews for all of the Nabla palettes that I have in my collection, so I'm gonna link them down below. Likewise, if I have reviews for other palettes in my collection, I'm gonna link those down below as well. We've got the Nabla Dreamy palette. This is the first palette they came out with. This is how it looks like on the inside. I kind of gauged Delirium out a bit, unfortunately. You've got purples, you've got pinks. Nabla does love their pinks and warm tones in their palettes. I've seen that even the founder of Nabla, Mr. Daniele Makeup, uses them a lot, and lots of neutrals. And I really do love this palette. Basically, the Nabla ones are my favorite out of my whole collection. Up next, let's talk about my Too Faced palette. So this is the first Too Faced palette I ever bought. This is the Too Faced White Peach, and no lie, I bought this because of the scent. Fucking sue me. I love how these things smell, but it's quite a strong fragrance. So palette is basically a very mediocre palette. All of these shades are incredibly light. The only shades that I really truly think are unique are Peach Passion, Joy Sweet Fig. But otherwise, I basically use this palette as a whole palette of transition shades, and that's why I put it in my project pan. I don't feel that I enjoy it as it is. I did have another palette in my project pan initially, but I feel that I don't pull for that often enough, and I just don't feel inspired by it. This one, despite not feeling inspired by it, I can use in conjunction with other palettes, and it's more useful to me. Another palette is the Too Faced Just Peachy Matte palette. I use this a lot, especially when I go to work and I don't really want to think about what kind of look I want to do. These mattes are very pigmented, very blendable, very effortless, and I do recommend this palette if you're into these kinds of tones. Again, very, very fragrant, so be careful of that if you're sensitive to scents. I got this as a present from my friend that arrived from the UK. I got this like a week ago. I've not yet played with it. This is Too Faced Chocolate Chip palette. This is how it looks on the inside. I don't have yet an opinion on it because, as I said, I just got it last week. But I am excited to play with it because it was a gift from a dear friend, and you know, gifts are nice. Gifts are really nice. This was my initial project pan palette. This is the Collistar Libera Glamour palette, and this is how it looks like. And I did make good progress on this shade, which I also used as a highlighter. this shade over here, these two. The issue is that it forces me towards very cold pinkish looks or purple looks, and I hate it when my makeup doesn't match my clothing, and most of my clothes are either warm toned pinks, reds, some yellows, greens, and it doesn't always go with what I had in mind. So in my project pan update, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you guys that I swapped one palette for the other, and that's it. Otherwise, I think this is a sort of working woman palette. These aren't very pigmented, aren't very metallic. They are pretty, but they're more on the subtle side. So if you want a palette that's for work and you've got green eyes and love purples, this might be great for you. But if you want something that packs a punch, this is not the palette that you want to go for. I'll probably keep it for another year, see how much more use I get out of it, and then declutter it. I bought this because of nostalgia reasons, because it reminded me of a quad that my mother first gave me when I started playing with makeup. Not the best purchasing decision, I know, but there we have it. Just it is what it is. I've got a couple of NYX palettes to talk about, including one that I decided to declutter just before doing this video. This is the NYX water palette, and the reason why I'm decluttering this is because as it's gotten older, it's really lost its performance, and some shades turned sheer while others turned a bit, you just pile instead of layering properly on the skin. It's got a beautiful color story. This one even is a blue-brown duochrome, but the only shade that's truly performing well after 2.5 years of having it is this green, and I feel that I won't miss this particular green so much. But the other shades they just turned to shit as the palette grew older, and you know what, if I really do want to pull for a green, I can find other palettes that have greens, so I'm gonna let this one go. And we have its sister palette, the NYX Metal palette, which I still enjoy. This one still performs well. It might have some sort of a different formula because these ones are more metallics. I love this palette for one shadow looks or as a pop of accent on the lid. I love these two duochromes. This is seriously pretty. These purples are again very nice. This green I don't like because it's got a dark base and it comes out looking always much darker and muddier. I like this icy blue. I like this all over the lid. It is just a very pretty palette, and I'm really happy that I got it and that I'm just keeping it. We've got the Ignite and Grind palettes for their latest Machinist collection. So this is how the grind looks like. It's giving me a bit of a subculture-ish vibes. You've got this really pretty duochrome, you've got yellows, you've got these greens. It's a really pretty palette for like grungier, more colorful looks, and I really do enjoy how these perform. And we've got its sister palette. This is the Ignite, and it's more of a warm toned palette. You've got burgundies, you've got pinks, you've got these golds. I really do enjoy this one as well. It's one of my favorites for 2018 actually. This NYX Perfect Filter one I got in a Secret Santa. And these are really not my shades, but it was a gift and I don't want to declutter it before giving it a proper chance. You never know what you could fall in love with. I mean, I at least know that I like these two shades. I really don't know about the rest, but I'm gonna try it a bit, and if not, I'm gonna pass it along to a friend that does grungier looks, or just give it away to someone that might enjoy it more than I do. Okay, next up we have this Naked palette. I also had the Naked one, but I decluttered it to a friend because that was such a fucking disappointment. This one though, I really do enjoy. This is what it looks like. It also has a brush that is particularly nice. This I enjoy for work daytime looks, again effortless looks that don't really look like much but are nice in their own way. I enjoy the shade Trick, I like Nooner, Liar, Mugshot is nice, Dust is literal sparkle dust, so that one has a shit formula. Buzz is nice, Limit is nice, Burnout is nice. Honestly, I don't feel that this palette deserves its hype or its price, but I'm gonna fucking keep it and get my money's worth because when I do use it, I do enjoy it. This is the Zoeva Eclectic Eyes palette. I also have a review of this one up. I absolutely love this palette. This shade is just absolutely gorgeous, but it does have some fallout. Otherwise, I absolutely enjoy all of these shades. I love the neutrals, I love these plummy tones, I love these blues. It wasn't an impulse buy, I saw it in the Sephora and it was love at first sight, but I honestly do not regret getting it, and I do plan to get more Zoeva palettes in the future if it's a color scheme that inspires me. This is the Delancey Maelstrom palette. This is how it looks like on the inside. I find this color scheme to be so inspiring and so nice. Baby, not on... Okay, so my cat is a fucking dumbass because he literally got earlier on the table and he just stood over the fucking candle over here and the fur on his tummy started smoking out, and I had to literally put his dumb ass out before he caught fire. How fucking... My cat, just how fucking dumb can you be? Okay, let's get back to palettes. Although now it fucking smells like burnt fur everywhere. Jesus fucking Christ. So as I was saying, this color scheme is really inspiring. You've got these beautiful purples, this pink, gorgeous, this duochrome, fucking amazing, slay me. I love this glitter, this pressed glitter, just a beautiful palette, a beautiful color scheme. I love using this when doing creative looks. I love that the packaging just exactly reflects what's inside. So yeah, this brand is one to look out for because just this palette, love it, love it. This is the OPV Yemoja palette. How it looks like on the inside. It gave me Juvia's Place vibes, but I honestly loved this color scheme, so I got this. I think this is absolutely beautiful. They're very pigmented, very opaque. The shimmers are just very metallic. I really do enjoy them. The pan sizes give me anxiety because these are some big ass pans, but I love it. So my Colourpop palettes, I only have two. I have the You Had Me at Hello, which I received in a boxy charm. I don't really use it that much, but it is nice. So as you can see, you've got some sort of plummy neutral shades. You've got just your browns, you've got a gray over here. Overall, I feel that it's a very pretty palette. I think I'm gonna try and use this more in 2019 because I do enjoy it when I use it, but it's like never my first pick and I don't know why. And I've got the Good Sport palette, which is another one of my 2018 favorites. And this is how it looks like. I feel that this color scheme is so incredibly inspired. You've got greens, you've got golds, you've got this beautiful duochrome sparkly shade, purples, yellows. It inspires me as soon as I look at it for both neutrals and colorful looks. One thing to note about the Colourpop palettes is that they are fucking dusty as shit. So there's always a lot of kick up, always a lot of fallout. The packaging gets dirty, it drives me insane. I keep having to clean them, but I do like the quality, so I guess I just have to live with that. This is a Sephora collection palette, the Spicy Latte. This is what it looks like over here. I really do like these cool tones. I rarely wear cool tones like these, but when I do, it's this palette that I pull for. I love this silver. It looks like a regular shimmery silver, but it's got this sort of holographic glitter in it that's so beautiful and so subtle, and you notice it only when you put it on the eyes, how beautiful and multi-dimensional this shade is. Otherwise, you've got just your standard mattes. You've got this beautiful cream shade, which is nice for no makeup looks. I like this burgundy brown over here. But honestly, the star of this palette is this shade over here. This is the MULAC Bella Vita palette. And honestly, this was one of my purchasing regrets in 2018. It's a nice palette, but honestly, not worth me giving it full price plus shipping price. I just fell into it because it's an Italian brand and it's like the color of the blood or something. That's how it looks like. You've got these pressed glitters, which are indeed very nice. The mattes are drier. They're absolutely nothing to write home about. The shimmers, again, honestly, nothing to write home about. I don't know why I don't particularly enjoy this formula. There's nothing wrong with it per se. It's just not my thing, but I do feel really inspired when I look at it, so at least it's got that going on for it. I may try and maybe, I don't know, maybe put it in a project pan next year or something. I'll see. I don't want to depot it. I was thinking of depotting it to save us some space, but honestly, the packaging looks really good in flat lay pictures on Instagram, so it's going to stay in this current format for now. So I have got an obscene amount of Makeup Revolution, as you can see, which made someone picking on me in a will I buy it, a former will I buy it. I said that one of the newest Revolution palettes is boring. They called me negative and boring, and I was like, sis, do you literally know how many Revolution palettes I have? Like, give me a fucking break. I literally gave this brand so much of my own money. At this point, it's my God-given right to say that one of their new releases is boring as fuck, because I know what I'm talking about over here. Okay, let's start with the loner of the group. This is the Our Heart Revolution Mermaid's Heart, and this is how it looks like on the inside. Just beautiful performance. I absolutely have nothing to say bad about this palette. The shimmers are stunning. The mattes are okay, blendable, buildable. But honestly, the shimmers are the star of this show. I find this palette so beautiful and so inspiring, and look, it matches my nails. Then we've got the Soph X Extra Spice, which as you can see is just extra shiny and reflective. I've not used this in a while, to be quite honest with you, because I use this mostly in the summertime, less in the winter time. I don't know why. I'm just not in a mood for it when it's hot outside. Maybe because it literally looks like hot weather in a pan. The shimmers are absolutely beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. All of the shimmers here are impeccable. The mattes are okay. I enjoy the Makeup Revolution formula of mattes, so nothing to complain about that here. And I honestly have no interest in buying her original one because I find that one a bit boring. But these soft palettes are really nice quality, just so you guys know. Then we've got the Chocolate Elixir palette, which has an absolutely beautiful packaging. And as you can see, it's a modern Renaissance dupes with some extra shades thrown in there. So I'm grateful to this palette because it made me realize that I do not need the original modern Renaissance, no matter how hyped. These shades are really nice, but honestly, the only ones I use are these three. So the pinks. The others, they're nice, but I've got other neutrals in my collection that I like more. So basically, I am not going to ever get the original modern Renaissance unless I have like a lapse in judgment. I enjoy this for what it is. It's a really nice dupe. The shades are nice and pigmented. I honestly don't have any complaints about it, except the shimmers are more on the subtle side and that they don't really pack a punch. Now we've got these iconic palettes. This is one of their oldest iconic ones. This is the Iconic 2. It's basically a dupe for the Naked 2 palette, and honestly, this is fucking stunning. These shimmers go for forever, just for forever, and it's so cheap. Like, I like this more than the original Naked one. seriously, why the fuck did I ever pay the full price for the naked one when I could have just bought one of these and seen if I like the color scheme or not? Just fucking ridiculous. Then I've got this Velvet Rose, which is a dupe for the Soft Glam. I liked the berry tones in the Soft Glam, but I wasn't sure if I really liked enough the whole palette to buy it for Anastasia Beverly Hills prices, and I was right. I do not use this whole thing. I just use this quad. I use this quad to death. And aside from that, the golds and browns I already have in my collection, so I'm happy I did not buy the Soft Glam originally, because it would have been money wasted for me to just use 4 goddamn shadows in the whole palette. This is really nice quality. Some of the shimmers really pack a punch, while others like these are more toppers than anything. The mattes are nice, they're pigmented, they're buildable. I do enjoy this palette. This is an Urban Decay Naked Heat dupe. All of the shimmers and the mattes in here are absolutely gorgeous, great quality. Definitely a good choice if you want the Naked Heat but don't want to pay full price for it, because honestly, after getting so burned by the Naked one, I was hesitant to give Urban Decay my money again. This is the iconic Divison, and this is a Subculture dupe, and I've used this to death. Like, it's even got a few accidents going on. This peach shade is starting to give up on life. The shimmers in here are absolutely crap. Like, they don't show up at all. Like, I don't know why they're even here. But the mattes are absolutely gorgeous and pigmented and nice. And I plan on buying the original Subculture and decluttering this. Because you know what? Anastasia might as well get my money if I really do enjoy this color scheme so much, and you know, Makeup Revolution did copy them, so I might as well get the original if I have the money for it. Okay, so final 2 proper palettes in the collection. These are Sleek palettes, which are great drugstore palettes, very nice, very pigmented. I love the formula. This is the I Divine, the originals, and this is an all shimmer palette except for this matte black over here. I do love all of these. I take this with me a lot when traveling, because when traveling I don't do complicated looks, so when I just want a bit of color, I just put a wash of any of these all over the lid. They're also nice to use with an all matte palette or something to add more variety to the lid shade. Very pigmented, very nice. I really do enjoy it. And this is the Dream a Little Dream. This was a limited edition. This is how it looks like. You've got a mix of pastels and blues. This is just a beautiful, inspiring color scheme, and I'm definitely keeping it. I rarely use it, but when I do use it, I always love the look that comes out of it, and it's the palette that I pull for when I'm in the mood for an icy blue look. Okay, time to show you my magnetic palettes. So this first one, this has some Focallure shadows and the blue brown pigment, the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone, the original. Basically, I don't support Focallure because they're kind of shady. They have an AliExpress official store, then they have an US store, and basically there's different prices and different customer service standards for each of these stores. So unless they get their shit together and I see more positive feedback from people regarding them and their customer service, I'm not going to buy from them again. They're kind of in the doghouse, but honestly their shimmers are fucking stunning, so I do wish they get their shit together and work on the whole shadiness behind their brand. Up next, we have my attempt at duping the Natasha Denona Cranberry palette. I have a video of that, I'm gonna link it down below. And this is just a random Sense Silver Shadow that I just popped in here because it just randomly popped in here. I have some Igneous Cosmetics, I have some Nabla, Luxie, Pupa. Then I've got these palettes which I very satisfyingly arranged. Please admire my arrangement. So I've got the big pans are Neve Cosmetics, the middle ones are Nabla, except from one lonely NYX. I've got Igneous Cosmetics, I've got some Luxie. I do plan on buying more single shadows in 2019 and respectively, satisfyingly lay them out like I did over here. And we've got this one, which is Peaches and Neutrals. The big ones are Neve Cosmetics. The middle ones are Nabla. We've got Luxie, Igneous. So basically these are the single palettes that I have, nothing out of the ordinary. I don't know, I don't think they warrant their own video or presentation. So there is that. Okay guys, this was my whole collection. I hope you enjoyed watching my excessive spending habits. So let me just show you real quick how they are arranged in my vanity. I have the IKEA Alex drawers because they're really fucking useful and they're pretty and I love them because they're white. So let me show you that. This is my vanity setup. I have over here my MAC Fix Plus. I have a Catrice primer, the Benefit Dandelion powder, which is trash. This is a highlighter that's a bit too dark for me, but I keep it just because it's cute and I like how it looks in flat lays. Some glosses. These are the most hydrating glosses I have. The Benefit Benetint, which is in my project pan, and this thing just won't fucking die. Some primers, my 3 foundations in my collection, skincare over there. Then we have the location I showed you earlier with the palettes. In these drawers we have highlighters and blushes. So we've got over here 2 of the Sephora cheek gel tints, which are really nice. The Obsession Isn't It Peachy blush palette, a sleek blush, contouring products, and my one Makeup Revolution highlighter, and more highlighters over here. Up here we have Jean-Luc. This is my friend Jean-Luc. He is my drawing mannequin and he sits here. Please observe his beautiful googly eyes. Look at him, isn't he absolutely fucking majestic? Some fake flowers that I use for flat lays, my magnifying mirror. Here is the quote that I honestly really like. It says, "Finish each day and be done with it. You have done what you could. Some blunders and absurdities have crept in. Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day. You shall begin it serenely and with too high a spirit to be encumbered with your old nonsense." This is still MAC Fix Plus, but I put it in this NYX Dewy Finish sprayer because I hate the spray on the original. Here I still have blushes and highlighters. So we've got some over here. More. And more. And I should probably let this go of this Revolution blush because I really don't use it that much. Excuse you. Shoo. Back of my mirror over here we have some mascaras and eyeliners and pencils. My brushes, perfumes. Those are my winter perfumes. These are my summer perfumes. We've got my friend, he over here. Isn't he so very handsome? More brushes and perfumes. And let's go to the drawers. So I've got these neatly organized, as you can see. Face powders and my one bronzer singles and cream shadows, 2 quads, more singles, concealers, primers, brow shit, hair stuff. One of my palette drawers. See, I like having them in this sort of Tetris-like arrangement. lipsticks. I've got glosses and liquid lipsticks over here. I've got bullet lipsticks. I've got here nail polish and some extra skincare and hand creams. Over here, more palettes and my tripod. More palettes. Jewelry. And the rest, it's not makeup. So basically, this has been my whole vanity over here.